So, Jay, would you like to introduce us, man?
Well, welcome to Power Play Podcast. We've revamped a little bit. We've become Power Play, the entertainment podcast. Entertainment review, movie review, music review, all things entertainment. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jay Brian Ross. I'm going to pass it on to K Ross, our other host.
What's up? Y'all know me. I'm K Ross. We about to have fun with it. You feel me?
What's going on, everybody? I'm Champ Johnson. They know me as Anthony. We know each other since we was younger. But I'm Champ Johnson. I am the newbie here, but I'm glad to be here. We about to have some fun.
A lot of fun.
This is Power Play Podcast. So this is like, so we've had variations where we're just working on stuff, but this is Power Play Podcast. So I'm actually excited about this group. I feel like we know a lot. I feel like we each have our own personalities. Yeah. So everybody's going to do their oon thing. Jabe, you should really put that mic down because it's going to sound like crap. Just for the record.
Okay. It's down.
Nah, but Anthony, you want to take us through?
Well, just piggybacking off of what Jabe said, I mean, a lot has happened in the past couple of weeks, so we just gonna tackle the most popular things that have happened. Today, the new trailer for The Matrix has dropped. Yep. 20 years later. Almost 20 years later.
Is that how
they
long
have come back? Yeah, I think the last one came out 03. Last one came out in 03, so about 18, 19 years. So yeah, they're back with another iteration. They're trying to continue the story. So it came out this morning, and I want to hear y'all thoughts on this trailer.
To me, Neo looks like John Wick in this. It just looks like they wanted to keep the John Wick persona.
Don't get disrespectful. John Wick is Neo.
Okay, but in this, Neo is John Wick in The Matrix. Have you seen his hair is long, he got the beard. Everything about The Matrix was clean cut. It was precise, it was precision, it was smooth, it was silky. And now you got rugged John Wick coming in trying to be Neo again, and I feel like it's not gonna work.
That's a good point, actually. I never really noticed that he was always pretty much clean cut for the most part when he was Neo. Mm-hmm. Because when he was in the Zion, everybody looked dusty. Yeah. But I'm underwhelmed by the trailer though.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give them an opportunity because I don't want to make judgments too early. But where was I needed what's his name, Morpheus, dude? I don't want a Morpheus look like, if you're not gonna have him in the movie, I don't even need a look like.
So not kill them all.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Well, okay, so I don't know if y'all ever played the Matrix video game.
Yes.
Okay.
But Morpheus died in that video game.
Yeah.
And that game apparently is canon. So he's dead.
I don't like when they do that. I don't like when they do that. Because there are people who are movie and TV personality, they love it, and then don't play video games. So to be like, same with comics. So I'm a comic book fan. I actually like reading comic books, but I don't have a lot of comic books. So when they tell me, according to the comic books, this is how this is going to go, and I'm like, that's not fair.
Well, then you got to get with the program with the comic thing, because all these movies are born and bred from those comics. Right. So,
but Yahya Abdul-Mateen is supposed to be Morpheus, just a different iteration. So you know how in the old Matrix, you know how they have the Oracle. Mm-hmm. She was one actress, then she was another actress. Mm-hmm.
I'm not with that, yeah.
But you know what? But in all reality, do we really want Morpheus? Because I don't want to see him aged and can't move around, and that's the reality. Morgan Freeman.
Have you seen him in Blackish?
What's the man's name?
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne. I was about to say Morgan Freeman. But Lawrence Fishburne can't get around like he used to. He's not the same Lawrence Fishburne from The Matrix. So,
and we don't want him to just be talking. We want to see him fight too.
But did he really fight much in The Matrix? I don't remember him fighting that much. I remember him getting captured a lot.
No.
I remember him having a sword. That's about it.
You don't remember that freeway scene where he fought the two twins?
He went crazy.
Well, his stunt double fought the two twins, but yeah, I know.
I get it, but I'm saying, but it doesn't. What he's older, he has gained a lot more weight. Now I'm not body shaming him, but I'm saying he has aged. He's aged in comparison to what's the name who plays Neo. Like Keanu Reeves looks good, man. He's still doing these. He's never stopped doing these kind of movies.
Did Trinity die? Are they gonna bring back Trinity? Or
she was in the trailer?
She was in the trailer.
You know what? I watched half the trailer, and I apologize for that.
Whoa.
he didn't like it at all.
I was not a fan.
He didn't like it at all.
Seeing John Wick Neo, I was like, no, bro, no.
Well, I'm on the other side because I was intrigued because I feel like they didn't give enough for you to kind of know what's happening.
Right.
But they gave me enough for me to be like, I'm excited to revisit this world because The Matrix, that whole trilogy is just crazy.
It was amazing. So
I'm very excited to revisit the world and see like where they're going. I just don't want it to be just the same story told a different way.
Yeah.
Now my thing is, I watched the whole trilogy about a year ago. I rewatched the whole thing, and it was just as fun to watch.
Yeah, no, very true.
A year ago as it was the first time. So for that reason,
all that are still.
Oh man, it was amazing. And for that reason, as much as the trailer was underwhelming for me, they've given us such good content that I'm gonna watch it. Period. So I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna watch it because everything they've given me so far has been great. So I'm with that. So that's why I'm like, it doesn't even really matter to me. Like the trailer could have just been Neo sitting in a white room, and I would have been like, all right, I can make sure.
I would have picked that. I feel like that would have been pretty cool. But I don't want to see Neo. And he's all rugged and dirty. What is he doing in the Matrix?
Well,
and then he might actually be might have been shooting the John Wick movie at the same time. To be honest with you, too.
They're never really in the Matrix universe like that alternate universe long enough to where they grow facial hair.
But but they were though. Because in the first movie he lived so basically what it looks like they're trying to say is basically he's being reborn.
Okay.
So this is another version of Neo, but it's Neo.
He's struggling.
Right.
He's struggling. He's going to therapy. His life is full of poo. So it's like he going through it. So I'm like him having a beard and him being a little unkempt. It makes sense for where he's starting. But I will agree with you when it comes to the Matrix was real sleek and clean cut. Because even the girl with the blue hair in the trailer, like her, I feel like they were trying to give her like some Trinity-like moments with her action. Yeah, but it wasn't clean. Like because Trinity, she wore those leather bodysuits. Her hair was slicked back. So I'm like, I don't want to see this chick in some pink H&M joggers.
I didn't see. Was she in the trailer?
Trinity or
Jada
Trinity?
Pinkett. I was like, because I didn't see her in.
No, she wasn't. She's supposed to be in it. Though.
Do you think it's a good idea?
She looked good though.
Do you think it's a good idea to continue to make movies that appeal to early 2000s, late 90s, and make these not even a rendition, but sequels or continuation stories 20 plus years down the line?
Yeah, I do. So, I feel like it's nostalgic. I feel like our generation is carrying the Marvel franchise. Okay, don't get it twisted. So they see that this generation of people, nobody's been more invested in movies because a lot of these movies, especially on the Marvel end, have come from things we watched as children, right? Yeah. And The Matrix was us going into adolescence, like teen years when it started. And so it's nostalgic for us. So yes, we'll go watch it. And we're carrying these movie franchises. That's why it's like, don't forget about this group of people. My kids don't know who Wolverine was outside of a Marvel movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about old Marvel. They don't know who Iron Man was outside of that. I watched the cartoons. Yeah. You know, so I have a tie to it. That's how you develop diehard fans. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Speaking of Marvel, did you see the trailer for the Wolverine game?
Yes.
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
That
did you see the trailer for God of War?
That exciting.
No!
God of War is my favorite game. God of War is my all-time favorite PlayStation
God
game.
of War.
Me too.
Really?
It got God of War and Metal Gear Solid are like the best video games.
Did you see the Spider-Man trailer?
I did see the Spider-Man trailer, but I didn't see
Far From or No Way Home?
No, I'm talking about the video game.
Really?
It's Carnage and Venom and
I haven't seen that.
Spider-Man. It's Miles Morales and Peter Parker together.
Fighting Kraven the Hunter.
Oh yes, Kraven. Yes, it's Kraven and
that's
Kraven and
that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna check that out. I didn't even know that had like, whatever. But moving on, let's move on to any TV shows, any songs, any music, any albums you guys are listening to that you kind of recommend. I would like to go first. There's a TV show that I feel like nobody's talking about, and I think people are mixing it up with another TV show. So there's a show called White Lotus.
Okay.
And there's a show called 9 Perfect Strangers.
They are kind of similar.
People are mixing up 9 Perfect Strangers and White Lotus. I watched White Lotus, and I'm in the process of watching 9 Perfect Strangers. I'm 100% a fan of 9 Perfect Strangers more than White Lotus, and I feel like the cast in 9 Perfect Strangers is perfect. It's Melissa McCartney. What's the white, like everybody, the cast,
Michael Shannon, Nicole Kidman.
The Nicole Kidman's really great in this, by the way. Like, I've never really been a Nicole Kidman fan, but she's amazing in this play.
Is she?
I think she's
right.
But think about it. As far as like entertainment and stuff, she is like a pillar almost. She is. That's why people are excited to see it. She's like almost a Meryl Streep, because when Meryl Streep's or something, people are excited to see it.
Well, I couldn't get with 9 Perfect Strangers.
Why not?
I watched like 3 episodes and I was like,
why?
It just, to me, all right, I need as the mystery is happening to keep me engaged, I do need a little bit of throw me a little bit of a line. You know what I mean? So I kind of keep, I don't want to wait until the last episode, and I don't know because I didn't finish the series. I don't want to wait until the last episode to find out what's going on.
Right.
That's too much investment for me over a whole season for me to figure out I didn't like what was happening because I had to wait till the last episode to find out it was just a stupid idea anyway. Okay. So I couldn't do it.
I'm actually enjoying both shows. Right now I enjoy White Lotus more because I finished it and I kind of get the whole story. But I feel like because 9 Perfect Strangers is still going.
See, that's the thing about White Lotus. I didn't understand it. I watched that entire thing.
What?
I don't know what I just watched. Like, I feel like it was just it felt like I was watching Big Brother.
Even the beginning?
Yeah.
I mean, even the end?
It felt like I was just
all those cliffhangers.
Their lives. I didn't feel like I watched anything that was like, wow, like this is
after episode 3 of White Lotus, I was like, what the hell is happening? Mm-hmm. But I was so intrigued, like what's going to happen next, just to kind of see all these characters unravel.
Yeah.
Crazy to me. And it's pretty much a show about white privilege. Sure. It's a show about white and entitlement, and like how they all use their privilege and entitlement to try to get their way, and how it unravels. I feel like it's like when a Karen meets a Karen meets a Karen. How does that
That's my kind of show. I love to see Karens mad at other Karens.
Right. But 9 Perfect Strangers, Nicole Kidman's Russian accent is really annoying me.
It annoys me.
But I feel like it's one of those character-driven shows.
Yeah,
it has a plot, but it's like it's about the characters. They want you to be
involved in the characters.
Exactly. So I'm definitely involved with them.
Yeah, that's how it felt when I watched it too. Yeah. Like it wants you, and I don't know. Maybe it's because when I binge watch and when I watch shows, I binge really hard. So like I watch episode after episode after episode after episode. Take a break, maybe go eat, go do something, then I come back and watch an episode after. Yeah. So it's just like I don't know if I had the patience. Maybe I'll give it another try, but I don't think I had the patience when I started watching it to really invest in it.
I think once the whole season comes out, maybe you'll binge watch it and you'll kind of know. But because it's week to week, it's a little hard.
Yeah.
But my recommendation, I don't know if you guys have been hearing about the buzz about the show Clickbait on Netflix.
I've heard about it. I haven't watched it yet.
So Clickbait is one of those murder mysteries. I'm not a huge fan of murder mysteries, but I'm getting more into them. And I didn't know what the show was about. I don't know these people. I was like, what's the show? I don't really care. And then I started watching it, and I was like, dang. So I was watching like one episode a day. But then when I got to episode 3, I binge watched the entire season in a day. Like I didn't even go to bed till like 1 in the morning because I was like, I have to finish and see.
It was that good.
Because it's one of those stories where it's like every episode follows a different character in their version of the events. So it's kind of interesting to kind of
pretty cool.
It's like Power, like the last season of Power.
I don't watch.
It's like the Bible.
It's
like the Bible.
But it's kind of like you see everybody's different perspective.
Yeah.
And then of course you're trying to figure out who did it, because I love like every episode you're like, it was this person. Next episode is like, oh, it wasn't them. So it's a good ride, and it's only one season. It's like a mini series, so that season and it's done. But I recommend that if y'all haven't watched it, watch it before
Netflix.
Well, it's on Netflix. Yeah, watch it before you get spoiled on Facebook.
Oh yeah, because people are going crazy. I've seen so many posts about it. I've seen so many.
Why people do that?
That's what they do, and that's why certain shows I don't even go on social media if I know I haven't watched the episode. I don't even go on social media. That's how it was with Game of Thrones. If you didn't watch Game of Thrones, the second the episode dropped, there were spoilers right afterwards.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones until the last season, and before that, I knew what the Red Wedding was because hundreds of people, thousands of people kept talking about it.
Exactly.
I was like, I'm just trying to get to the Red Wedding. Everybody kept saying, the Red Wedding.
As much as I hated the last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones, that was an experience that I feel like just enjoying that with the rest of the world, like it was like time stopped for a while for us to all enjoy Game of Thrones.
Really? You think so?
Dude, it was like at a certain point, only the negative people, the people that just refuse to get into shows just because they don't want to watch what everybody's watching.
Yeah.
At a certain point, those were the only people that hadn't seen Game of Thrones. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
it was an event.
Yeah, it was an event.
It was an event. Every single Sunday night, I feel like everybody was watching Game of Thrones. Yeah. And on Monday morning, you go to work, everybody's talking about Game of Thrones.
Everybody was. And I hadn't even watched it.
That was a fun experience to me, like just experiencing that where it was like such a big group of people, but we were let down so bad with that.
What do you think they could have done better?
Like, first of all, they took everything from us for so long.
Okay.
The least you could have done was give us Khaleesi and Jon Snow.
See, we get on topic, but I like it. I'm just saying because look now. So the creators.
I needed Cersei to die too. By the way, I needed her to die in a
brutally.
The way that went
brutally.
I was not happy with that.
Yeah,
I was not happy.
She should have died brutally.
She killed person after person after person, and she got to die in the arms of the man she loves the most. Like
this show. This show.
It wasn't.
This show was known for being gruesome. Especially gruesome when killing its characters. So for her to die in that poetic way, I was so upset.
She didn't deserve it.
No,
I was so upset.
She didn't deserve it.
We had to watch Reek suffer. We had to watch Sansa suffer. Okay, by 2 different crazy men, and I'm talking about suffer.
Yeah, no, he suffered.
And I understood. I think the show did a good job at making it realistic, meaning the good guys don't always win, right? Bad guys don't always lose. But to me, it's unrealistic for Cersei to die the way she died. That was unrealistic.
Very much so.
Right? Yeah, after defeating the White Walkers, Jon Snow, and like for him to kill the what's her name?
The Night King?
No, he killed what's her name? The one I wanted him with.
Cersei.
Khaleesi. For him to kill her.
I call it Cersei.
For him to kill her.
Yeah.
Okay. We all know what every fan of that show deserved.
Yeah.
Was for those two to end up together.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Regardless of the lineage, regardless of whatever else, we deserved for those two to be together. You're telling me Jon Snow is back at the wall? What? It felt like they spat in my face. That's what it felt.
And from season 2, they were building up to this whole reveal that he was a Targaryen. And I'm like, bro, are you kidding? That's where on the so the creators were offered to do 2 seasons to end it. But because they got offered that Star Wars job, which they lost because of this, by the way. They got offered to do Star Wars. They opted to do 1 season for 6 episodes.
And cheated.
How are you going? So one, I know how. I haven't read the books, but I kind of read
the books are amazing.
So I know that Khaleesi going crazy is a part of her storyline. But I feel like you can't have Khaleesi go from being this revered queen to this mad queen in 6 episodes off of one day. I'm like, maybe do 10 episodes, and at the end of the finale,
horrible.
100%. It didn't make sense. The inconsistencies in the show was so consistent for 7 seasons.
So was the same 2 guys that wrote
it was so consistent
until the last, or did they get new writers?
No, same guys. They just was rushing it because they wanted to do Star Wars.
They were lazy.
It was so consistent up until that point. Like, watching that, it was like that was the biggest letdown. And I know this was a while ago, but I'm talking about it now because this has been in my heart for so long. Okay, I felt like I wasted like 8 years of my life because I was waiting for episode after episode after episode. I waited, and then we had 1 year where we had to wait 2 years for a season.
Yeah, why did they?
I wasn't this disappointed when Trump won the presidency.
No, I wasn't either. Absolutely.
I wasn't even this, but Game of Thrones had me upset.
Man.
Like it was crazy. Like even for Arya Stark to go through all these seasons wanting to kill Cersei, and then she finally gets there and she chooses not to.
It didn't make no sense. And she
killed your father, your mother, your brother. Like
she was a stone cold killer. She was Arya. By the time Arya got to Cersei, she was a stone blooded
certified.
Okay, and it just didn't add up for me. I needed Jaime to lose more than a hand. Okay, like no, seriously, it's like we watched all these characters we watched their father get beheaded in the first season. Okay.
For nothing.
It just we went through a lot of trauma.
Johnson just made me feel good though.
It was almost as bad. What was that?
Yes,
movie?
It did.
What was that movie? Uninvited. Have you seen that movie? What's that movie?
The Uninvited with the red
Black
lamps.
Family? No, the movie with the Black family on Prime, where they
that show, bruh. Don't bring me through
that show. Gave me, I was angry for, I was maybe weeks.
Yeah, because you kept
after watching
every time I would watch you, like, yeah, bro, like I don't.
Like after episode 5, okay, I couldn't. I said I was so mad. I said, why was this made?
Yeah.
What did they make that movie for? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It was so much of like, and I'm all for.
We didn't need it.
Oh man, we didn't need it at all.
We didn't need that show at all.
We didn't need it.
It didn't serve any purpose but make everybody angry and make us all feel. That scene with the baby in the pillowcase.
I didn't even watch it. Watch it.
Thank you.
I couldn't even watch it.
Happy you didn't.
I couldn't even watch it because I was like, I know they're not about to do what I think they're about to do.
They did.
I was like, nope, fast forward. Then from that scene, I just went to the final episode. I was like, I'm not about to sit through this. I'm not about to.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not even a horror. I'm not even a horror person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah.
See, and I can do it. I love horror, but it has to make sense to me. So they left the most traumatic experience of their life to go into the next most traumatic experience of their life. But not to mention the people that did that to their baby, nothing even came of that.
I feel like I'm about to be led in the spirit real quick because I feel like this episode should be about things that had horrible endings. I feel like this is where we're leading it. I like this.
Speaking of that, let's go into the main topic because I'm pretty sure I have a different view. And with that, with what you just said,
Jay-Ray, you better say nothing bad about Shang-Chi.
Let's go into Shang-Chi.
You better not say nothing bad about Shang-Chi.
Let's go into Shang-Chi, okay?
So you are not even finna sit here and act like. Go ahead.
You know what?
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I don't think I don't think Shang-Chi was a horrible movie. Let's start there. Okay, but let's say that's the ceiling. So Shang-Chi, I feel like Shang-Chi was very. Are we doing spoilers or not?
Yeah, it's been out long enough.
Okay. I feel like my issue with Shang-Chi was the character development wasn't that strong. And to be honest, the movie was not about Shang-Chi. It was about his father. Let's be real. It was about his father. Okay. I wish they would have gone a little more into, because people don't know, but what the 10 rings actually are, they're celestial beings. And they're celestial beings that were actually turned into rings, that were captured and they were turned into rings. And each ring had a certain power.
Okay. Yeah. I'll wait.
So that's why in the end credit scene, they had that beacon, because they feel like the rings awaken something and let something know, like, hey, this is what's going on, to come down. But I just feel like how they use the ring, they used them like blasters, like how Iron Man uses his, his blasters. I just feel like the rings could have been a lot stronger. I understand it wasn't really about the rings, but I feel like to introduce something like that, I actually like Shang-Chi. Believe it or not, I surprisingly really liked Awkwafina. I liked her in this.
Me too.
Oh, just for the side note on Awkwafina, it was really nice to see her not put in just the comedic relief spot.
Yeah.
Like I was proud of watching her, because you could really see them start to draw closer to each other. You could see the chemistry that was building between the two of them. And I've never seen her be anything other than the funny girl. So seeing her, I did appreciate that.
I'm glad they did that too. I'm glad they did that.
Oh, y'all must have not seen the movie she was in when she won a Golden Globe. But
what was it called?
What was that?
I forgot.
Forgettable.
I forgot. It was a dramatic movie.
I haven't seen that.
Whatever. I'll send you guys what it's called. But I thought Shang-Chi, or Shang-Chi, however you pronounce it, it was one of Marvel's better movies.
I agree.
It was one of his better. It was one of his better origin stories.
Yep.
Really. It was better. It was better than Thor 1 to me. Okay. It was better than Captain America, the First Injured, to me. And it was better than the first Ant-Man to
me. It was better than all three of those movies.
Yes. Okay. It was better than the Hulk movie that's kind of canon, but Edward Norton was in it. But it was better than them.
Okay.
And I feel like it got right all the things that other Marvel movies got wrong.
It was better than Miss Marvel, that one. Captain Marvel. It was way better.
Captain Marvel. Yes.
I hated that.
I think before you finish, I feel like every movie you just named, I feel like Shang-Chi was better than every single last one of those movies. I would agree.
Yes.
So if we go origin stories,
so great.
Oh, I'll let you finish.
Okay, so I feel like it got right a lot of things that past Marvel movies got wrong. Okay. One, the villain was well written.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't like a throwaway that was just meant to be an antagonist so we can get to know the hero. Like Tony Leung's character, he was a great villain. I thought it was good that we started him. We were interested in him where he was at his evolution. He used to be evil, then he became a family man, and now he's back being evil to find his wife. So I'm like, his motivation was versus like, we want to take over the world. We want to destroy humanity. It's like, no, I want my wife back. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was good, and I feel like his humanity was shown. He had heart or whatever. So he was a great villain, and also all the female characters were not
strong. They're very strong characters.
Yeah, they were very strong, and they weren't like.
But it felt organic.
Exactly.
Strength felt organic. It didn't feel like you were trying to make me. You weren't pushing an agenda. It just felt like they were just dope. Period. His sister was just dope. And I like that. And the thing for me with that I really liked about the movie, I love that they made up for the mistake they made in Iron Man 3.
Yes.
With the Mandalorian. Because that should have never happened. The Mandarin, excuse me. That should have never happened. That should have never been a thing. The Mandarin, and they even explained why they were so upset, because it's offensive, the fact that you appropriated who I am as a person. You appropriated me to scare Americans. You know what I mean? So to me, it showed major maturity from me on the Marvel's end, because they went as far back as Iron Man 3 to fix a mistake that they made. And you do not see other companies
go over it.
Franchises
they just go over it.
Don't do it. So to me, it was like the attention to detail that they paid with the Mandarin and with, like I said, he wasn't a villain to me. He was an anti-hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't that he was a bad guy. He just wasn't a good guy.
I think Marvel has I think they've understood that a perfect villain is someone you have to have some type of empathy for and sympathy. You have to connect with. Thanos is probably one of the greatest villains I've ever seen in any movie. And I thoroughly believe that. And the reason why is because I understood why Thanos got to the road that he was on. And I understand.
Same with Killmonger.
I was about to say, I think Killmonger gives him run for his money.
Right. And same with Loki.
And Loki as well.
You just feel because there were people who were wronged in ways that were not their fault. Loki was taken away from birth. Killmonger's father was killed. That was not his fault. Mm-hmm. And same with Thanos. People don't know that Thanos was cast out because of how he looked, and his entire race was destroyed because they were overpopulated. So he's like, not only was I outcast, I lost my family, I lost everything. So let me try and fix this and right this wrong so nobody else feels this pain that I've felt. So you see, it's the I think they've done a great job of making us feel for these villains, but at the same time understanding, but you got to be stopped, bruh. Because
so who was your favorite character though? In the entire movie, who was your favorite character?
In Shang-Chi?
Yes.
His father.
Okay.
His father was my favorite character because I feel like I understood. I think a really big part about that movie was the fact that he was immortal because of the rings, correct? So once he met his wife, he stepped out of immortality to mortality because he wanted to love her and give her everything. So it shows that the second half of the movie, he did everything because he was heartbroken.
He was a piece of crap for that because she gave up all her powers for him. The least you could do is take them rings off. Okay, so we're not gonna sit here and act like he did her favor. She was whooping his tail. Okay, she could have wore him out. All right, but no, I like the dad. But I like Shang-Chi. I feel like I cannot wait to see him in the mix with the other Marvel characters. I feel like he's gonna be a major asset. I feel like, and are you guys peeping that everything is centering around Doctor Strange?
Everything.
Yeah.
That's getting ready to be our Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like I can tell. That's getting ready to be our Iron Man.
And Reed Richards are going to have a lot to do it together. I think, you know what else? I got kind of sad looking at the end credit scene because you know what that scene shown? How little we have left. When it was Juan talking to Hulk and Captain Marvel and it was just those three, I was like, man, like now it put into perspective. We don't have Black Widow anymore. We don't have Iron Man anymore. We don't have Cap anymore. We don't know where anybody. You see what I mean?
We don't have Black Panther anymore.
We don't have Black Panther anymore. We're like it was heartbreaking to see. Like, man, like we went from this to this.
But but we're getting so many new characters,
yes,
right? And I feel like I in the Facebook group that we're in, Chris, I was talking about how I feel like Shang-Chi. It feels like we're back at square one.
Yeah, it does.
Because that whole Infinity Saga is over, and now we're building up to a whole new saga where it's like we're being introduced to new characters, new artifacts, a new big bad. Like all of that is unfolding. Yeah. So it's like with the characters we already know, which is still a lot of them, but we're getting so many. We got Shang-Chi. We're getting Kate Bishop. We just got Monica Rambeau. Now we have Scarlet Witch at her fullest potential. Like we're gonna meet so many new characters, even in Eternals. We're gonna meet so many new characters.
Everything is so raw too. Everybody name, they're so raw. Like Scarlet Witch is very raw right now. Kate Bishop, very young, raw. We don't know even what's going on with because they said they're going to introduce, I forgot her name, and forgive me, but the Black woman who takes up the mantle as Iron Man.
Ironheart, Riri Williams.
She's going to be in the She-Hulk movie or TV show. So we're getting great characters, and I like that Marvel is giving them to us so raw. So we're going to see a lot of mistakes,
a lot of growth,
a lot of doubt, a lot of growth. Something that DC refuses to do.
Now speaking of DC, I know this is I know you just said it, so I just want to just hit this really quickly. I watched what was it? Suicide Squad. Okay. DC does not get it. That is their niche.
Yeah.
That is where they need to be.
Yeah.
Stop competing with Marvel. Nobody can do gritty better than DC can do gritty. They have the characters for it. Make the rated R, gritty, bloody, nasty superhero movies.
Yep.
They need to allow the writers of their animated movies.
That's what I
write their live action movies.
Yeah.
These animated movie writers,
they're amazing.
They get it.
Yep.
They understand the assignment.
Yep.
But I feel like Warner Brothers, they're still operating. When it comes to comic book franchises, none of these studios have a Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
They needed Kevin Feige. They need a team of people with somebody like Kevin Feige who sees the bigger picture. But they don't. But they're and DC Warner Brothers are allowing like all these directors to kind of make their own thing, and they're going to try and piece together.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you need
a
mind map,
communicating. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're never going to get that cohesiveness that Marvel has.
Nope.
Because there's not somebody at the top that is a comic book fan that respects the fans and the source material enough to say, we need to do this way so we can get here. You know what I mean? It could have been Zack Snyder.
It should have been Zack Snyder.
It could have been, but
you released the Snyder cut. People loved it. People loved it. And then you make an announcement. This is the last movie that Zack Snyder will be working on with our DC. What is going on up there? Like, what are they thinking?
And that's their big, because at the end of the day, as much as we love these characters individually, we love it when they come together.
Yeah.
So yes, Aquaman was a great movie. Wonder Woman, the first one, was a great movie. Like, seeing all these characters was. Shut up, Jade.
I like the first one.
They were good.
Aquaman.
They were good movies. They were good movies, but I feel like
questionable.
Jason Momoa is.
I like the graphics in Aquaman. I like the way Jason Momoa looks as Aquaman. Okay.
It was a good origin story.
Yeah, the story was cool. I like the story, but as far as his acting abilities for that character, for that type of character, because I like Jason Momoa when he plays a gritty man that's, works in the forest, he's fighting, and he's cool like that. But as Aquaman, it was almost too cartoonish for him.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Even like the way, I wasn't a fan of it. So with that being said, I do have an animated series that you guys talked about at DC that I think
Omni-Man
should watch.
Okay.
Omni-Man's amazing. Or Invincible.
Woo.
Justice League Dark Apocalypse on HBO Max. It's a rated R Justice League movie. Yes. Amazing.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's great.
It's amazing. And I watched that and I said, this is the blueprint. They could literally remake this exact movie. And
I literally said,
and it would be great.
DC could just remake all of their animated shows and movies, and they'd be top of the world because their animated stuff is so good.
How did you guys feel about the fight scenes in Shang-Chi?
They were super clean.
I like the bus scene. I thought was amazing. Thought that was great.
I was afraid that, because with Marvel, it's spectacle, it's CGI, you know what I mean?
Very.
So I was afraid as we got towards the end of it with more CGI and special effects, it would have taken me out of it, because Shang-Chi is supposed to be the best martial arts in the world. So I'm like, I hope they keep the foundation of the martial arts.
Yeah.
And they did. Even with the dragon and the water and the demon flying things, whatever, they still kept it martial arts centric.
Yeah.
I thought the fight scenes were dope. The fight scene on the side of the building was
great.
super creative. It was really dope.
It reminded me of Captain America Winter Soldier. Those fight scenes were so precise. And I was like, I've always said I just want Marvel to go back to those fighting scenes, because too much CGI, after a while, you can start to tell, because there was a clip in Infinity War. I don't know if you guys remember when Wakanda was just getting torn apart, and Bruce Banner was in the the Hulk Smasher suit, and when Thor comes down, he takes off his mask and he says, "Oh, you guys are cool now," but it looked like he was floating, like
right. It looked horrible.
I wasn't with it, but I liked that. I didn't feel the CGI in this movie, and I feel like
they didn't deal with
the animals were beautiful. The foxes, the horses, they were beautiful. Yeah. I
was watching Pokemon.
Yeah,
that did remind me of Pokemon for sure.
So overall, what kind of rating would you guys give the movie overall? Would you watch it? Would you read
8.5?
If I had to grade this, like I would a report card, 1
being the worst, 10 being the absolute best,
I would give this.
Don't be ridiculous now.
A 7.8.
No, ain't no point.
I say it. All right,
7 or 8.
B minus. I'll give this a B minus.
Because I'm giving the movie a 8 for sure, at least. At the least a 8. And that just depends on which movies you compare it to. I was not.
Did it feel like a Marvel movie to you all?
Yes, and it made me excited about the Marvel Universe again. I have not been excited. I have not been excited about the Marvel Universe since Endgame. Because I haven't felt like I've been depressed. Like I feel like everybody's gone, everybody's dying. Like, where are the characters? What is this? What are these movies? What is this? This is the first movie to make me feel like, okay, what's next?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
those post-credit scenes
were great.
Did that just because the first post-credit scene is probably one of the best post-credit scenes Marvel has ever done because it gave you
a lot
what you wanted. One is like, yes, Shang-Chi is a new Avenger.
Yeah.
He is, and then just
no confusion, straight up.
And I love that they included Awkwafina's character when he said,
"Now I can do without her though."
I mean,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I didn't like this in Endgame, where I feel like we had that final battle in Endgame.
Yeah.
And everybody was there. You had all the armies from all the planets, and they're all fighting Thanos, which is great. Mm-hmm. I just wanted it to be like a continuation of the battle with just the Avengers team. Yeah. Like, I don't like the side characters. I don't consider Wong an Avenger. I don't consider.
That's the.
I don't consider Shuri an Avenger or Okoye an Avenger. I don't consider the Guardian. I consider Nebula and Rocket Avengers because they were in Endgame the beginning with Tony and them. But I don't consider the Guardians of Star-Lord, Gamora. They're not Avengers to me.
I agree.
I'm like, give me the Avengers team. So I feel like seeing like Hulk, Bruce Banner, Captain Marvel, like them kind of.
I don't feel like Captain Marvel is an Avenger. If we be honest, she just kind of pops in and pops out as she pleases. She's never really a part of anything like concrete. But
that's because she came in at the
up and goes. Still,
she came at the tail end of it.
But she did the same thing in the post-credit scene. That's like her thing. All right, guys, I got something to go. I got to holler at you. You guys
notice?
Let Bruce figure this out.
Did you notice that
because they made her too strong? They made her too strong. They made her too strong. So because they made her that strong, she cannot be a part of everything or it will be overkill. So now they have to pick and choose when her character can be a part of stuff because they made her too strong.
She gonna lose her powers. She
better.
But did you guys notice that Bruce Banner was no longer Professor Hulk? In the comics, once he became Professor Hulk, he stayed that way for the rest of the comic, for the rest of all that. Do you realize he went from Professor Hulk back to Bruce Banner?
And his arm was messed up. Did you see his arm?
We're so used to seeing like Bruce Banner. We're like, we don't think it's a big deal, but that's where like they're gonna have to explain that, and I'm sure they will, because in Endgame,
She-Hulk coming,
right? But in Endgame, he explains like, oh, I was able to merge me and her. So how are you able to? Because there was an issue with them being two separate people in two separate lives, basically. And now that he's back to Bruce Banner, what is that backstory? Did the snap really damage something and pull them apart again? Is he not able to return to Hulk, or did Hulk become its own entity somewhere else? You see,
but in the beginning, you had mentioned about the 10 rings and how you mentioned like the comic book origin, how they were celestials or whatever. And so I'm speculating that. These so in Eternals, that movie's coming out.
It's connected.
I'm looking forward to that.
And they have what's called the Emergence happening. In the comic books, the Emergence was they would go to a planet and they would destroy it, and out of that destruction they would birth a new celestial.
Right.
So I'm thinking that the emergence is them destroying Earth so they can birth a new celestial.
Okay.
And also the rings are beacons to kind of say beacons to invite the celestials to Earth to say this is the new Earth that you can destroy, that kind of thing or whatever.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like I feel like it's connected to Kang, the Conqueror.
Okay. For sure.
I feel like it's connected to that, and I feel like it's also connected to Galactus.
Do you think you're gonna do Kang right?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so.
I yes. One, because in the Loki show we weren't introduced to Kang.
No, we weren't.
We were introduced to one of his
variant.
His variant. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, they're actually going like really canon with him having these different versions of himself, and it's going to be good to see the actor Jonathan Majors to play these different versions.
Yeah.
Now, does anybody
realize
how ridiculously amazing it is that Kang had created the TVA all this time?
Mm-hmm.
He had this thing going on, maintaining timelines. Okay, does anybody realize how, if he can do that as a regular, like he's not even the Conqueror. Kang is getting ready to put Thanos to shame. When you're telling me Infinity Stones don't matter, you're telling me none of this stuff, they had Infinity Stones as paperweights. I couldn't sleep for a week after seeing that, okay? When I saw the Infinity Stones, tell me all these folks
that exactly
these doggone stones.
See, Chris, and that's kind of my issue. Just hear me out. My issue is that I think they're bringing in villains that are so amazing and so huge. What the heck what is Kate Bishop gonna do against Kang?
But also, that's my issue.
What is Hulk gonna do against
Kang?
I feel like Marvel may have put its foot in its mouth, going this direction, because how do you incorporate the X-Men after this? Yeah. Like we're going big, and what I'm saying is we're fighting.
You don't incorporate the X-Men; they just show up.
Yeah.
Because at this point,
because they're the X-Men.
I need my X-Men. X-Men. So we got to figure something out.
Even the people we're fighting, they're introducing Fantastic Four. They're introducing Blade. But our main villains are going to be celestial beings and Kang the Conqueror, Galactus, and all these people who literally Kate Bishop and even Black Panther, whoever that's going to be. I pray that it's going to be Michael B. Jordan. But
I hope it is Michael B.
That would be amazing. But even them coming in
he's the only person I'd accept. He's the only person I'd accept. And I feel like he's the only person that a lot of people will allow to take that mantle. I do not want his sister to be Black Panther yet, because to me,
not at all.
Yeah, it will be the same story over and over again. I feel like Michael B. Jordan, and I'm talking outside of Marvel, is the only person that because Black Panther was big for African Americans in general, right?
Yeah.
He signified something huge for us. We need our Black Panther still. And I feel like the only person that Black America will accept as Black Panther is Michael B. Jordan, because of his relation to the
reason why I hope it's Michael B. Jordan is because you know what they can do now is they can introduce Storm as his wife instead of, because before in the first Black Panther they had what's her name from 12 Years a Slave? I forgot her name.
Lupita
being the love interest. And she was a love interest.
Yeah, and it didn't make sense.
Y'all know Black Panther's wife was Storm.
Storm, correct.
So I think it'd be great for because what it is
him to become the Black Land.
Right. She's from a different.
And it could just be the title.
Right.
Not the person.
People stay with Wakanda people. And that can be something that they usher in with Michael B. Jordan, him being from Wakanda, but also from Oakland. You know what I mean? And he brings in a woman from somewhere else and end up being Storm. And I think that could
that'll make some people upset though.
I am a part of the recast T'Challa squad. Recast T'Challa.
Yeah.
Recast that man.
He's
you want him recast.
Recast.
That's so sticky.
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. We went to the same church. I went to high school with his wife. They're great people. He impacted the role. I understand it. But he does not have a monopoly on the character just because you didn't know. T'Challa is a character that is
oh man, I'm posting this part because I get opinions. I don't know about that, man.
Hear me out.
Recast T'Challa. I don't know about that.
Hear me out. T'Challa is a character that has lasted for over 5 decades. He has done so much in the comic books. Now, if you take his character away, there are so many stories that you can't tell because they are T'Challa stories. You know what I mean? So I feel like I understand Chadwick passed away, and I understand that. So I understand like maybe the sequel can just be about Wakanda. You know what I mean? Here's what I was thinking. I'm like, just have maybe T'Challa, he gone somewhere. You know what I mean? Maybe he's injured. Maybe he's like in the space.
No,
I don't know.
We can't do that.
He's on vacation.
So
not vacation.
So Fast Furious franchise does.
No. Hold on. What I'm saying is, with everything that has happened to T'Challa in Wakanda, him being snapped away, gone for 5 years, having to rebuild the infrastructure of it all, like maybe he's so exhausted and worn out, he needs to go on like a spiritual rejuvenation,
you want him to go
a spiritual journey.
Thor's dad did.
Go to the older league. Something. But what I'm saying, but I feel like we as viewers, because we know the circumstances, we would accept it. But I feel like possibly give him a break.
I don't know.
In the third movie,
I feel the same way. I feel like the viewers would accept you putting Killmonger in his place because they were going to do away with Killmonger. So it's not like they had any more plans. They weren't finna bring him back for like the comic book said. But I feel like the viewers will understand just as much as you putting Killmonger in his position and calling him Black Panther and doing the same stuff with him as Black Panther because of the circumstances. I feel like the viewers would understand it's a sensitive spot. And yes, having it where the title of Black Panther is who's doing all this stuff versus T'Challa doing all this stuff.
I just don't.
Now before you post this video and the people come for me, I do have a second, and I'm okay with that. I'm a troll by trade. But I have an option too. I don't want any. I know Shuri was the Black Panther in the comics. I just don't feel like Letitia Wright. I feel like Letitia Wright's character in the movie,
like a little girl, bro.
We haven't had a progression for me to be like she should. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I don't want any existing character to be Black Panther.
Yeah.
I would appreciate if they do another challenge and have another Wakandan warrior, not even M'Baku. I want him to be M'Baku, but somebody from these tribes that they can go do the trials and they become Black Panther and are chosen by Boss the Panther God. Legitimately, I would be okay with that.
I don't want them to do what Fast and Furious has done to us. In Fast and Furious 9, seeing Paul Walker, they're acting like he's still alive, but I can't do it. Because the reason why it makes no sense is because why did you name your son Brian when Brian's still alive? Okay? And then to act like in Fast and Furious 9, the entire movie, he was babysitting? And then to bring his car up at the end, I was like, bro, why did they keep doing it? It's like they keep killing them and bringing them back to life.
Now, do you know who I think would be a good Black Panther? Have you seen The Purge, the beginning? Or Purge, the first Purge?
Oh, bro, with like the high top kind of and the beard?
The guy that played the main character in the first Purge. Man, what is his name? I'm going to get his name.
Insecure?
And why
I think he's from
Elon Noel?
Yes, I believe that's his name.
His name is Elon Noel.
He'd probably be good. You know who else I think would be good? I think the guy from Bird Box.
Yep, Elon Noel. I feel like
Elon Noel, Trevante Rhodes. You're talking about Trevante Rhodes.
I feel like Elon Noel would be a phenomenal Black Panther. I feel like he would look the part, right? I feel like he has the athletic build for it. His acting chops are nice.
But can he do an African? Can he do a African accent?
That's what we don't know. But I feel like when I think of a person to me that I could see in that suit, I could see him in that suit.
I would prefer Trevante Rhodes. I would prefer James' character.
I see him in that too.
Which dude is that?
Yeah.
Is that
from Bird?
Trevante Rhodes.
Oh, so that's the guy from
Moonlight.
Moonlight. Got it.
Moonlight. Yeah.
He might be too big.
I doesn't him doing it too.
He's too big.
I don't think so. Like
He's too big. That's a big dude.
But T'Challa is bulky in the comics, though.
Man,
T'Challa was yoked, bro. T'Challa was yoked, bro.
Well, no. He looks big. Too. Exactly. He looks big, but he a track star. So he's muscular, but he's still kind of athletic.
Lean, yeah.
You know
who I would rather have as Blade too? Since we didn't get we can on these points.
Wesley Snipes is Blade, and I would have been just fine.
I would have.
He still looks good. Michael J. White deserves a job doing something in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali is a good Blade choice.
I don't want it.
What?
I don't want it.
What?
I don't want it. I don't want it.
I don't need Mahershala.
Mahershala Ali.
First of all, to me, I love Mahershala Ali, and I think he's a dope actor. But he's too old to me for Blade. And I feel like if we're gonna progress him, we need somebody a lot younger that's gonna grow with the role. Mahershala Ali in 8 years ain't gonna be able to do Blade stuff.
That's facts.
Okay.
Why he won't?
He's getting
like 48.
He's old.
He and if you can use they got superpowers. They got superpowers.
Look, if you can use Mahershala Ali, then you could still use Wesley Snipes. That's how I feel about
it. Wesley got about 10 years.
You look a little
crazy. Seen the way Wesley Snipes still looks?
He looks a little crazy.
Wesley Snipes is a big dude.
But Mahershala don't look his age though.
But but it's still about the fact that when I watched the Black Widow movie.
Oh dang, he 47. I thought he was young.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's too.
Chadwick Boseman was like 42.
He's too old for the character. But Chadwick Boseman, we was gonna maybe get 2 more movies.
What's his name was old?
No, but Blade is half vampire. He's supposed to age.
I would need somebody younger that can play the character longer.
He got a gray beard.
He got a movie and a half. Okay, he got a movie and a half. All right, and then
whenever that comes out,
whenever it comes out. So to me, it's just
don't be an ageist, Chris.
I know you're right, but I feel like there are roles for that. But
Mahershala Ali went to Kevin Feige and just told him, "I want to play Blade." And Kevin Feige said, okay, that's why they don't have a release date. They have no actual plan for Blade. They're just like, we're going to release this because he wanted to play it. And he said, because he's a great actor and he's a big actor, I gave him the role.
So y'all didn't see Alita Battle Angel? Y'all didn't see him in that movie?
I did. I
just feel like, okay, he can do action. You know, I think he's a good choice.
That movie was a little like a cartoon almost.
Michael J. White was my first choice for Blade. Honest, outside of Michael J. White is trained. He is a trained.
Michael J. White is older than Mahershala,
and he's a trained fighter. He stays in shape. Okay,
but he is older.
He stays in shape.
Yes, okay? Michael J. White is 52.
He stays 47, 52. Big difference. Okay.
But you talking about Mahershala Ali at his age?
Right, I'm saying if you were gonna pick him, you might as well have got Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes is the credit he deserves for his.
Michael J. White is not as good of an actor as Mahershala Ali.
I agree with that. Michael J. White.
Mahershala Ali is a 2-time Oscar winner.
Okay.
Michael J. White is a Walmart $5 box actor.
How much acting do you really need? How much acting do you really need for a Marvel movie? Blade.
He's 56.
Blade at.
He's 56.
Who's that?
Michael J. White is 56. He's about to be 60.
Yeah, he is. He looks good, man.
But you know what? There's a lot of Oscar-winning actors in the Marvel universe.
Right. What I'm saying is, but how good of an actor do you really have to be to play Blade?
Yeah, you just gotta be mysterious.
Better than Wesley Snipes.
Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be disrespectful.
Never disrespect Wesley Snipes.
All right, y'all. It was fun talking to you guys. It's getting late. The stream is getting long. I know it's fun. We're gonna be back next week though, so that way we could do this. We could have these conversations.
We might as well just name this episode Rant. Just rant, because we just ranted. But I like it. I loved it.
I'm down with rant. I'm down with rant. Marvel, DC rant. I'm mad, but I didn't get to talk about what I wanted to talk about. My thing about we didn't get really hit on this certified lover boy and
no, we didn't.
And the Donda situation. We'll probably hit that next week. Certified lover boy on mine, but that's all I'm gonna say. I'll leave it at that. And it was fun, guys. Have fun.
For sure.
So we'll see y'all next week.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.